guys, so today we are in Chapter 2 of Unit 5, Lesson 2, Chemical Reactions. So let me remind you again that matter had both physical and chemical properties. In this lesson, we are going to focus on chemical properties. The characteristics of a substance which enable us to distinguish it from any other substances are called properties. And now the characteristic that describe the ability of substance to react with other material and form new substances is called chemical properties. Remember, new substances is formed, whereas in physical there was no place for new substances. Okay, so before we talk about the properties, I would like to start with chemical change, and let's understand what chemical change is before talking about the properties. In the previous lesson, we talked that physical change is changing in appearance, the outside look, but chemical change is actually changing the inside. That's why we say new substances will be formed when chemical change happens. These types of changes require energy. They either release or absorb energy. So, what are the forms of energy in the first place? It is either light, heat, or both, or electrical current. These are some sources of energy that might be used to initiate a chemical change. So basically, like we said, a chemical reaction requires energy. In this case, it would be called endothermic reaction. Or a chemical chain could release energy, and this is called exothermic reaction. Now, how could energy help initiate a chemical change? It helps us to rearrange the atoms and form new substances. So now about the chemical properties that help to determine the types of chemical change are combustibility. Combustibility is the ability to burn. And the matter that had the ability to do so is said to be combustible. Can you give example of combustible matters? Comment your answer. When a substance burns, its atom or molecules chemically combine with molecules of oxygen. So burning is a process that could occur only when oxygen is present. The substances produced are made of the same atom as the original, but they are rearranged. Another property is reactivity. Reactivity is the ability of a substance to go through a chemical change. Now let's go back to the periodic table. The elements in the first column are very reactive metals. That means they would undergo chemical change easily. As for all the substances, the noble gases in the far right column of the periodic table have stability. So what is stability? Stability is quite opposite of reactivity. Stability means that the matter does not undergo chemical change very easily. In fact, they rarely react with other substances. So we have many kinds of reaction. One of them is combustion. Combustion is an exothermic reaction. Exothermic means they release energy. Substance combine with oxygen. Whenever a substance combines with oxygen, that means it's burning. The reaction produces heat and often light. So heat and light is the energy that is being released. Another kind of chemical reaction is decomposition reaction. Now, decomposition means to break down, and this is exactly what happens in this reaction. Substance is broken down into simpler substances. For example, nitrogen dioxide, which is a brown gas. If it's heated, it decomposes into colorless gases, nitrogen monoxide and oxygen. So listen carefully. We said if it's heated, that means we gave it heat. Heat is a form of energy. So we added energy to initiate this reaction. And this means this reaction is endothermic. Now, if we don't want a chemical reaction to happen, can we prevent it? The answer is yes. Everything is possible with science, right? So we have so many countries that they want to store their important official documents, such as the documents of independence. So to do so, they have to protect it in pure helium that prevent the document surface to come in touch with oxygen, which might react with them and damage them. Another method is neutralizing acid and base. Like in modern books, they are printed on paper in which acids have been neutralized with base. Because of that, the papers won't gradually crumble from reaction with the acids. In museums, they display objects under dim light so that the chemical change that use light energy will not take place. So this is a preservation. About metals, to prevent them from being weakened, they are often covered with a layer of another substance, like galvanized steel, for example, have a thin coating of zinc, a metal that's more reactive than steel. You may have not known that yet, but we do prevent chemical changes every day. Food would be spoiled if they're not kept in refrigerator or freezer. In this way, you're removing heat, which heat was another type of energy, and therefore slow down the chemical change. And that's how we prevent food from getting spoiled. Antioxidant chemicals are also added to chemical substances to prevent breakdown or changes in color. They are added to oil, gasoline to prevent the corrosion of engine parts. That's it for today, guys. Don't forget to answer the self-check question and the lesson review, as well as answering the homework. Alright, good luck. Goodbye.